Welcome back to Paul's Academy. Guess what I have on me today? I have the new KKXXDBD C3PO R2D2 KXX. And you probably don't know what that is. And I have to say, it's the worst name that I've ever seen in my life. But this came right off Amazon. What is it? What is it, you might say? A little guess. When you crank it, it goes ring, 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 cuts trees down. It's a chainsaw. In case you hadn't guessed by now, the KKXXDBD C3PO R2D2 is a chainsaw. I bought this off Amazon. Guess what? Less than $100. You know it's got to be good. And this whole thing, this little box is the KKXXDBD C3PO R2D2 chainsaw. Look at it. Look how cute. Guess what else? Not only is this supposed to be a gas-powered chainsaw, not rechargeable. No, no, no. Gas-powered. It is supposed to weigh 5.5 pounds. And it is a limbing saw, or a tree saw, or a top handle saw, whatever you want to call it. The handle is on the top. Can you see this? And the handle is on the top because it is meant for you to hold it with one hand when you're in a tree, limbing a tree, small branches. This is a 12-inch blade, and so it is not meant to cut down trees. Zero. That's the exact amount of patience Amanda has with me at this very moment. Here's what we're going to do in today's video. We're going to open this thing up. We're going to see what's in the box. We're going to talk about what it looks like, what came with it, and then we're eventually going to put some gas in this thing. We're going to take it up in my woods. We're going to cut a few small trees. Is it good? Does it stink? Anyway, stay tuned on today's video. Let's open this up. Let's see what she'll do. All right, welcome back. I hope you're still with me. There's some shadow for you, throwing some shade. No, I'm not. And we are going to be opening up the KKXXDBD chainsaw. First thing you're going to want to make sure you have is a box knife when you open up the KKXXDBD. Oh, I am so excited. Now, the first thing I see is a book about the chainsaw, and it's called Chainsaw 2500. Boy, you can't get more generic than that.
2500.
There's not even a decal on this thing. Hey, look at that. There's a bunch of part numbers. So let's see. What does this say? This says, congratulations, you bought the KKXXDBD3PO. Look at this little icon. I don't know what he's doing. I think he has a microphone. He's probably trying to sing, but not doing a very good job. The different symbols that are on the machine. The bar cover. You can actually cut this off if you didn't get a 12-inch bar, but I got a 12-inch bar. What is this? Well, that's nice. Okay. A funnel. Came with a funnel. That's nice. It's as if you have to pee. Oh, you know what? This is not in case you have to pee. It shows you the mixture, and we'll talk more about that in a minute. We'll see what the mixture is. Here's the meat and potatoes, baby. Look at this. It's a chainsaw. Yeah. All right. Hey, look. It came with some tools. Oh, a chain with these two nuts. Tools for adjusting the carburetor. It came with a 3-way Allen wrench, a small Phillips screwdriver, a small flathead screwdriver, the spark plug, and the chain tensioner. Now, I haven't seen a bar. Oh, there it is. Look at this bar. Oh my gosh, look how little. Saw chain expert. This is amazing. You could wear it like this as an accessory. First thing you're probably going to want to do is get the chain on. And I'm going to set this down here. Look how small that is. I think that is for a strap, if I had to guess. When you're in a tree, the off and on switch is right here. Let's see what we have to do to get the bar on. All right, so the first thing that we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to get the chain brake off the front of this and be able to install the bar. Now, it came without these nuts installed already. And you'll notice, at least in the case of mine, because it came this way, this is fairly tight. And I was a little bit concerned about that at first because I was looking around thinking, well, if I have to take a whole lot of stuff off this to get this off, we're in big trouble because it doesn't want to just come off like it is shipped out of the box. And so I got to looking around and I'm like, no, this has to be part of this. It took me an extra minute because I was worried on my other chainsaw that I have. You just pull this back and it clicks fairly easy. This one takes a lot of pressure. You can see this plastic piece. You can see the majority of it. When it's like this, the brake is fully engaged. Now watch what it does. There. See, it pushed it completely down away from the gray bar. And when it did that, this whole thing just popped right out. So let's set this aside and kind of show you what I see on the inside of this is this clutch. It's not like they cheaped out and put some kind of plastic clutch. I mean, it's a nice little clutch that's on this thing. I can see the sprocket behind it. But anyway, this looks good to me. It's got a nice little gripper on it is what I call them. The teeth of it that you can jab into a tree when you're making your cut. And so I like everything I see here. I don't really see anything else that I need to do. And so I'm going to go ahead and get the bar and see if I can get the bar on this. All right, so to install the bar, I think it's as simple as literally placing it on here like this. I'm gonna push this all the way back because if you push it all the way back, it's gonna make it easier to install the chain. So now I have the chain and I'm just going to come around the clutch here, okay? And then I'm going to just kind of start laying this in the top of the bar. And so I'll get the camera in just a second and give you a good angle of what I'm doing, because I want you to see that it's on the sprocket behind the clutch and I've got it installed in the right direction because that's the way it's going to cut. It's going to go in this direction, just like this right here. So I've got this on. I'm going to pull this out a little bit to just start to tension that up some. And you can see that as I did that, it went up into the slot on the bar. At this point, all you want to do is get the brake reinstalled. That's what's going to hold all this together.
I keep calling it the brake. It's actually the side cover, but the brake is built into it.
I'm going to take this, I'm going to line up these holes. This will definitely be an easy gotcha, and so I'm glad this happened to me actually. The adjuster for the chain tension, as it is right now, it came like, I don't know, at a default. It's roughly right in the middle. And unfortunately, it's not going back far enough for me to just get lucky enough that I can install this. It's actually catching. It needs to go back into this hole. We're gonna have to look and see what I've got to do with this. And the screw for it is right here. It just so happens that I have my box knife still out here. And so I'm going to take a peek and see how it's lining up. The bar is out as far as it can go. So the only thing that I can do is adjust the tensioner back until it pops into the hole. And I'm just turning this, waiting to see if it'll pop into there. There it was. So what happened was, as I was turning this, the pin that's actually the one that does the moving was moving backwards until it found the hole on the bar. I had it pulled forward as far as I could go. What I did is I just watched as I was turning this. I watched that little pin slide back until it got right to that hole where it's supposed to go into on the bar. And then all of a sudden, just one little turn and it clicked and fell into place. I'm going to tension this back up just a little. And you can watch right here as I do this, what it'll do. There we go. Whoa, look at that. Now you got to be careful spinning a chain like this with your hands without gloves on. If you want to spin it, use a box knife like this to make sure that it's spinning. The book will tell you exactly how to tension it. We'll open that up in just a second. But for right now, what I want to do is go ahead and get these two nuts on here. There we go. Now I'm not going to tighten those all the way down yet. I want them not even finger tight, a little bit looser than finger tight, because I want to know how much adjustment to put into this chain. This says, when holding up the tip of the bar, adjust chain tension by turning the tensioner screw until the straps just touch the bottom of the bar. That's the advice we got. I ain't going to use this because we're going to use it to not only tighten these down, but we're also going to adjust the chain. So let's get it to where it's kind of loose again. I'm going to bring you down here even closer. And what we're going to do is we're looking for how much tension we're going to put on the chain. It said until the guides are just touching the bottom of the bar.
All right, so I'm going to have to correct myself here. It didn't say the guide, it said the tie strap. And even more importantly, it said when the tie strap just touches the bottom of the bar. Now the tie straps are these links that I have outlined with white. And I'm going to put a green line on the top of those. Hopefully this will make sense in a minute, but these are actually the top of those links. And I'll show you why as I rotate this image. So now you can see with those same green lines, this is actually going to be on the bottom of the bar. And what we're aiming for here is to get those links to just touch the bottom of the bar. And in this image, you still see the green lines there. That represents the top of the link. And then you see the orange, and that represents the bottom of the bar. Our goal is to get these to just touch.
So if I do this, and I slowly start to tighten it, and I'm going to go ahead and tighten this down a little bit more. I think that looks pretty good to me. At least from what I can see. I'm going to go ahead and start tightening these up, and I'm going to hold the bar up while I'm doing this. Okay, now that I've let go of it and I know that the brake is disengaged right now, I want to know how does that turn out? I think that looks pretty good. I would recommend you go online and really look at some of these big manufacturers, Steel, Husqvarna. Check out how they say you should tighten this up to get a really good guide on that. The book didn't do a great job of explaining that. You have to know specific parts of the chain to understand what they're saying to do with this. You can always check these throughout the day as you're operating this. Okay, so I have not tried to start this. It has no gas in it. It has no bar oil in it. I got to make sure I get the fuel mixture right. I got to make sure I get the oil in it. And we're going to be ready to take her up here and go wangity wang.